Big up, everyone. Good evening, as always. Great show, DJB and Shane doing the old retro kicks earlier. If you don't watch that, you've got to go and watch it. It's an absolutely brilliant show. I love it. It shows everything 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, into the noughties. It's a great show. But unfortunately today, Shane, you got my vote. DJB, I think you got it all wrong today. But,
it was a Nonny Medway penalty for me, mate.
It was, yeah.
Howler, absolute howler.
Great comment. Big up to the cop father, mate. Big up, Jez. Absolute pleasure meeting you the other day, and to you, my friend, and to you. Let's get into this. Shane, very quickly, we have a little chat about this. The Pompey away, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got the bug back bad. I've been bitten, and I am considering reapplying for a season ticket. It's still in the debate stage with the boss at the moment because I've really got to justify it. So it is what it is. Kawaji, quadruple charges. Don't worry. Well, we're going to find that out tomorrow night, mate. Rory Neal, Jez, it's 30 years since Arsenal player from 1910, John Hunter, died. He led Motherwell to Scottish League and Cup, managed over 1,000 games and won more than Arteta. Well, that's not hard, is it? That's not hard. Yeah, fair play to you, mate. Fair play. Big up to Vincenzo, as always here. And also Gavin and the real panel and the real guys in it. Lenny Moon, how are you, mate? Good evening, brother Jez and the legends. Big up, mate. Thank you for joining us. And 01 Zin He Ho 01, I can never pronounce it. But big up, mate. And big up David down in the lovely New Zealand in the middle of the all summer right now. Having a lovely time down there. And Rory Neal said, no, Jez, don't punish yourself. Anyway, let's get into this. Shane, at the weekend, third round, we got through it. We were through to the fourth round for only the second time under Arteta. I think I'm right in saying it, or if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me.
Third time, I think. Third time. Okay, beg your pardon. It was a stuttery game. Pompey's defence was deplorable. Not surprised they're 21st. They were awful. But they gave us a little bit of a shock at the start of the game. I was dead in line with that goal. And I thought, what are we doing? Here we go. I have to say, Lewis Skelly, I don't know what's happened to him. I didn't think he had a great game at all on Sunday. He looked out of sorts. He was making way too many errors. He gets bullied way too easily. Give me your breakdown of that game, my friend. Yeah. A bigger problem me on, of course, as always, onto Kenny and DJB and the wonderful chat. It was just a bit meh for me. I mean, it took set pieces again. I didn't want to see Gabriel anywhere near the pitch. I thought he had rested Saliba and Trossard. It turns out now that they're injured, or it's a fitness issue, as he said in the press conference today. So I wanted to see people say, oh, yeah, he makes 10 changes and you concentrate on the one he didn't make. Yeah, well, the one player, if I had a pick that I didn't want to play, was Gabriel, because he's just been run into the ground and he's so important. But apart from that, you're right about Lewis Skelly. I feel for the kid. It's not his position. He was getting found out last season, by the way. People just chose to overlook it. We were saying it from the moment he came in. Look, he looked great going forward, and he was when it comes to, he was getting cut out of position. He was close to giving penalties away. He was getting bookings all the time. And him and Gabriel have this thing where when they get in trouble, they stoop over the ball and wait for a little touch. A lot of defenders do it, but they do it a lot, and then they collapse to the ground. But I think refs are sort of cottoning on to what they're doing, and they're just not giving free kicks for it. So they get caught out a lot doing it. But I feel for the kid. He's out of position. He looks like he's fed up playing there, and rightly so. He probably regrets the day that he knuckled down and trained hard to be a left back because of what this manager said to manipulate him. I think he's starting to realise that no matter what happens in midfield, he'll never get his shot there. And that all just comes down to the manager not wanting to play him there and admit that he got it wrong, playing him left back, where that would be Arteta's head. Nobody's going to say that, though. If he started playing him in midfield, I wouldn't go, oh, you got it wrong, playing him left back. I go, yeah, you needed someone to play at left back. He played there, and now you're playing him in his normal position.
I do worry for him whenever he plays, and if the injuries are the way they are, he'll have to play against Chelsea. And I can just see Neto absolutely shredding him for the whole game if he plays left back. I would be very, very worried about that. If Frimpong can give him nightmares, Neto will give him nightmares. But as for the game itself, more set pieces was always going to happen. They're one of the second worst in the championship for defending set pieces. So it was always going to happen. You have to use the tools you have. The more we win games by set pieces, the more I do worry for our long term for the season. I go, well, we can't break teams down until we've done it. So, look, credit where credit's due. Martinelli got a hat-trick for me. I wouldn't have played him just to give him a little slap on the wrist for what he did. I still think that was disgraceful what he did. I know a lot of people are trying to dress it up now as it happens all the time. Not for me. It was clear Bradley was really, really hurt. But set-piece goals, Jesus' pass to Martinelli was nice for the third goal. We could have had more. And my one sort of thing that I really got from that game was that Kepa was and never will be good enough. I was saying it to Northside today. I played in goals as a kid. If I was on the under-10s and I parried the ball out into that area, I'd get a bollocking. Never mind a professional footballer. Either catch it or turn it around the post. What is he doing, parry? It wasn't even that hard a shot. He had time to think about it. It was at a good height. He was just trying to make the save look more dramatic, which he's not the only one. There's many a keeper these days does that. Most of them, in fact. But parrying that back out into that area, I already knew he wasn't good enough. But that's just, if anybody needs proof that this guy is just a waste of time, it was that parrying it right out into the danger area. But we're through. We got a good draw in the next round. If we keep getting good draws, you never know. I do adore the FA Cup, so it's always nice. And I enjoyed watching a couple of upsets and things like that. But all in all, I suppose the only way to round it off for that game is it was job done, I suppose. I think that's the most compliments I can give it, is just job done. And we move on.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Kenny, you watched that game and it was a stuttery sort of game, but we got it over the line and we're through now. Got Wigan at home. Let's be honest, Kenny. Wigan at home. We should seriously not worry too much about that. What's your opinion, my friend?
Well, there's only one guarantee when we play Wigan. The atmosphere is going to be shocking because Wigan never bring enough fans. Even when they were in the Premiership, you know, it was hard to sort of muster up an atmosphere because they never brought many fans because it's rugby league town. You know, they punch well above their weight. Not only winning the FA Cup, but staying in the league for that long. They're fantastic. 8 years in the Premier League until it was their time up. But yeah, Arsenal should win it. Even with a scratch side, they'll find a way. You know, they'll make it a bit interesting. But at the end of the day, Premiership quality is Premiership quality. You know, our second team's full of internationals, just like it was on Sunday. 10 changes, you know, from the game. At the end of the day, I share all the concerns about Miles Lewis-Skelly. There's talk that he won't be playing tomorrow, that Timber will be moved to left back, which I think is not good. Not good for the shape, our balance, not extremely poor for our shape. Because the way I look at it is that by playing him at left back, you're playing a position he hasn't played for a long time. He can play there, he can play in defence. Doesn't mean he's any good there.
Yeah, true.
You know, he played in defence against Aston Villa. Look how that went. He was terrible. He weren't great. So he's playing in his proper position, and then you got to make a safe position of Miles Lewis-Skelly. But the thing with Miles Lewis-Skelly is that if you play him in midfield, there's no spaces there, unfortunately. You know, we've got Eze, we've got Rice, we've got Norgard, we've got Zubimendi, we've got Wanyeri, we've got all kind of players in that position. It's very, very crowded. So he won't get a game. The only time where he's going to get a game is at left back. And we do need left backs. You know, Hincape's injured. Let's not forget we've got him on loan only. Right? You know, Calafiori, whatever injury it is, it's a muscle tear. Whatever, we don't know. So it's going to be a significant amount of time when he's out. So we're going to have to reluctantly rely on Miles Lewis-Skelly. But you're right. Shane hit the nail on the head. You only have to look at the West Ham game at home last season when Jared Bowen scored a winner. Obviously, he wasn't involved in that instance, even though the cross came his side. But look what happened with Kudos. got himself sent off because he got on the wrong side of Kudos because he was ball watching. Let's not forget Brentford as well. He was awful against Brentford as well, where we liked him when he was going forward and he was on the ball, he was strong on the ball. But when it came to inverted wingers getting chalk in their boots, terrible. And he's been poor since he's come back. Let's face it, he's been a liability. Bayern Munich game screamed, his deficiencies at left back, and thankfully Mick Arteta did something about it and got Calafiori on. Unfortunately, we don't have those two options. But I do think that Benjamin White will play anyway. But to get Timber in, I don't know, it's admitting defeat. But
I think Timber will have to play centre back though, Kenny, won't he? Because Saliba's meant to be injured as well.
You see, that's the thing. We really are struggling because Saliba's injured. Then he's not going to play Norgard, and he'll probably play Timber. But we saw what happened against Aston Villa. Timber thought he's playing right back because he's used to playing, and that's his best position. He's not a centre half. He was on a wrong. He's always going to be on the wrong side, and at left back, he's not going to give us any of the sort of attacking qualities that we need. He'll be solid. So again, it's an hard one. We really are sort of depleted in terms of defence, even though we've got a lot of we had a lot of players who could play in those kind of those positions. They're all injured now. Midfield takes care of itself. Up top, you think we're going to play Gyökeres, but my brother just posed a little question. He sent me a text. He says, and it's a question I'm going to ask all of you guys. Is he really that bad? Is he really not good enough? Because I've had discussions upon discussions about how we're using him, how we're not using him. And since the Chelsea game, I've detected a disconnect between himself and his players, especially his fellow forwards, his midfield. And what I see with disconnect is they don't trust him. They don't give the ball to him. Nope. They let him do all the dirty work, but they don't. But when it comes to situations where you put him to succeed, it's very rare that I see a chance created for him. So, is it us? Is he really not good enough?
Yeah. I don't think he's not good enough. I just don't think he's been played the right way.
Yep.
DJ, I'll ask you this one, mate. Slightly different change. When the manager brought on Havertz and Ødegaard, right, the whole pace of the game changed. It was slow, ponderous, predictable, sideways, couple of forward passes that went absolutely nowhere. I don't know, mate. It does seem, why would you do that? But the game was done. Let's be honest, it was pretty much done. But I just don't know, these two, mate. They worry me. Yeah. I don't honestly, mate. I don't think they're the two that's going to carry us over the line. I really don't.
No. Well, they didn't carry us over the line last season. They didn't carry us over the line the season before. What you got to remember is the way Mikel Arteta plays, which is possession based and positional based. Havertz suits that role perfectly because you can get the ball into him. He's got a better first touch than Gyökeres. Let's not. So, and he can. That's what his job's going to be. So it's naturally, excuse me, it's naturally going to slow down. The pace of the game is naturally going to slow down. And that's what Havertz is going to bring. He's going to try and bring other players into play. He's going to try and create openings and opportunities for wingers to run onto. He's going to drop into those little pockets where they're going to play the ball into his feet. And that's the way it's going to go. The reason why it's not suited Victor Gyökeres is because that's not his game. His game is to run in behind. His game is to make runs into the channel and hope that the midfield players either ping the long ball down the line or ping it or break the lines and get him running on to balls. And it hasn't worked for Victor Gyökeres at all. The style of football, and we've been saying this from day one, if the tactics don't change, then Victor Gyökeres will look a bang average player. And Victor Gyökeres looks worse than a bang average player in my eyes. It's just not worked. It's just not worked. So Havertz is coming back in the team. Going on the injury crisis in the defence, this team has been built on defence. That's the reason why we're top of the league. That's the reason why we're top of the Champions League. It's not because of our attacking football. Our attacking football has been quite non-existent. It's been okay in stages. We've had bits and bobs going forward, but it hasn't really been free flowing. So our league has been built on our defence. Now, if Saliba's injured, Nkappi's injured, Mosquera's out, you're talking of putting Timber left back. That leaves the right back exposed. I believe he'll play Norgard centre half. Personally, I think he'll do that tomorrow. I think he'll line up very, very similar to how he lined up in the FA Cup against Chelsea. I still think he thinks that he can get over the line with two legs by playing his Carabao Cup team rather than his first 11. And I think that's where he'll come unstuck, personally. However, if we're not free-flowing in the attacking third and we've got problems defensively, going forward, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. And as I said it on Aaron's show yesterday, what you got to bear in mind is the club's had £1 billion spent on it. We've bought a £70 million striker. We've got a star boy on the right that's meant to be world class. Yet we're all waxing lyricals over Trossard being our best forward.
Yeah.
So you make what you like of that one. You know, it's ironic that Trossard, the player that we wanted to sell, the player that if the right offer had come in, we would have sold without any question. He wouldn't have got a pay rise. We'd have sold him. Is our best attacker, and yet you got Victor Gyökeres. And it doesn't help when you've got players like Marino saying that we're all getting excited that Havertz is back. We're all excited about Havertz is back. Again, this is a repeat performance of what Arteta's been saying in his press conferences.
But they're told to say that, DJ, you see, to pave the way for
players.
Getting
players are now the players are now jumping on the bandwagon after what Arteta's been saying. Arteta's been saying about he can't wait for his number 9 to be back. He can't wait for his striker to be back. And all the time, Victor Gyökeres is listening to all these comments. He knows he's not going to be first choice. He knows he's wasted his time coming to the football club, and he knows he's going to play second fiddle to Kai Havertz. That won't go down too well with Victor Gyökeres at all. No. And I think it's an absolute, it's going to be fireworks. Something's going to kick off between them two. So this is where we are. But yeah, the game's going to get slowed down, Jez, because that's how we play. If anyone thinks that we are going to see beautiful, wonderful, free-flowing football once Havertz comes back into the team, think again. It's going to be worse. And I said this to Shane earlier on backstage in the Retro. I've now come to the conclusion that when I watch Arsenal Football Club, I'm not going to go and see attractive football. I'm just going to see a football match and just hope that it works and wins us trophies. But I'm not going to see attractive football at all. I don't even expect it now.
No, I totally agree with you. I've got some good. I've started a couple of comments, to be fair. The Gold Gaffer, the Legends, big up the panel. What wine are we having tonight, Jez? Well, it's actually a bottle of wine that one of the girls bought me for Christmas, actually. It's a Côte d'Rhône Village. It's very nice. It's a bit young, in my opinion, but it's still very nice. And good evening to you. Now, this is a question. We get it all the time. Invisible 300. Will you be Arteta in if asked to win the league and carry a bag cup this season? If he wins the league, I'll be, okay, give him another year.
One more year.
Champions League, give him one more year. If he wins the carry a bag cup and that's it, no, not enough. Now, I have a question back to you. If Arteta don't win anything big, would you keep him? because I think maybe you're one of these people that is an Arteta fan, not an Arsenal fan. Because at the end of the day, sorry, the Carrier Bag Cup is not enough. It's just not enough. The league, I'll accept. The Champions League, I will accept. And I'm going to go as far as deep as this, and I'm going to ask Shane this one, right? For me, as much as we all of us here, seasoned Arsenal fans, God knows how many years between us we count if we've been watching this club. Even for me now, right, the FA Cup's not enough now. Not with the amount of money that's been spent, the amount of support that this manager's had, it's not enough. And that's a horrible thing for me to say. But it has to be big now. It has to be major. Shano, and then Kenny, and then DJ, have you say?
Yeah, no, I fully agree. He got 6 years out of the last FA Cup. I mean, that's way more than he should have got. He got 6 years living off an FA Cup already. If he wins the league, and I've been told that this is crazy, by the way, but if he wins a league or a Champions League, then he gets one more year, and that's it. If you start slow, you're out. If you look like you're losing the dressing room, you're out. These same fans that would say that's crazy to only give him one more year would agree with a lot of Liverpool fans that Slot should be sacked. So why do they hold other clubs to higher standards? They've already lowered their standards into the gutter, by the way. These fans and him and the PR, they're the biggest reason why this club is the way it is. They're the biggest reason why we're seen as second is success. That was never success before. Yes, we were finishing lower than that in certain years, and we didn't win the league every year, but it was always seen as, well, we're Arsenal, we should be winning the league. So for me, getting the league, getting the Champions League, you get one more year. If he had won the league in his second or third year, I'd go, okay, give him a bit more time because he's doing something here. But he's proven time and time again that he can't get over the line. So when United come back stronger next season and City come back stronger and Liverpool come back stronger, the odds of this guy retaining it are very, very slim. And if he's taken us from this mediocre team that people say we were in the mud when he took over, we were going to get relegated under Emery and all that stuff, and he's turned us into this top of the table where, you know, we're sitting down with the Madrids and the Barcelonas now, and we're on par with the cities, then I want the same standards. I want the same standards. You win every year or you go, because you can't have it both ways. And no one's been back like this before. As I've said before, this guy has been given more money than every Arsenal manager combined in the history of the club. So he better win big. And no, an FA Cup's not even close to enough for him this year. Will it be with the board? I don't know. Will it be with the top Gooners? It wouldn't matter. The Nelson of this world would keep him for 10 years if he didn't win anything. It's about the manager now. They've gone that far. They've gone that far over that it's about the manager. I saw a gal get asked by someone in his chat, someone sent me a clip, would you sack Arteta if it meant winning the league? And he said no. So it proves that they're only after, it's the manager that they want to win. They want the manager to prove that this manager is great, to prove a point. They don't love the club. They don't love the club the way we love the club. They love the manager. They don't care about the club. They can claim they do all they want. They don't care. If they cared about the club, they would have wanted them out a long time ago. If they cared about winning, they would have wanted them out a long time ago. So I do pray that when he goes, a vast majority of them go with him, because we need to get our club back to the way it was.
Shane, do you actually honestly believe that would? I don't believe that would happen, mate, because I think there's such turncoats, right?
Oh no! When I say it, I'm being sarcastic. I don't think they will. They'll forget about him as quickly as anything else. They'll just cling on to something else, Jez. You know what I mean? Because they're spineless. Whatever way they want to be led, they'll be led. Whatever the club tell them to do, the PR tells them to do, that's what they'll do.
That's the point. Kenny, what's your view on it, mate? I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but we'll come back to it. To me, it's not enough. The Carrier Bag Cup is not. I mean, much as we love the FA Cup, so it's just not enough. Big up to Nelson, mate. Hope you're doing well, fella. It's. Yeah, I mean, if he wins the Champions League, he should get a statue on it. Well, maybe. Maybe. That's for debate. But Kenny, sorry, it's not enough.
Well, first and foremost, you tend to get statues when your stint at a football club is finished, or when you retire for the game. You know, the only manager I know who's got a statue in situ of still being in the job was Sir Alex Ferguson. He was the only manager who was knighted whilst he was still a manager. You know, so we have to wait for that, and that'll be open for debate. We're still waiting for George Graham's statue, by the way, Nelson. I'm sure as we speak, you and your friends are organising a campaign and pressuring the club to rectify that oversight. You know, so you're a very busy boy. So I won't keep you, Nelson, because you're very busy fighting to get George that statue. So I'll be brief when I deal with your question. First and foremost, Arteta will get praised because he's won something with Arsenal. Anyone who wins Arsenal League or League Cup automatically will get admiration, will get praise, and would get a big thank you from all of us. But the fact is, the reasons why we called for Arteta to be replaced are valid. They're not. We didn't just. The results weren't good enough. The return was woeful, i.e., one trophy in 5 or 6 years, and we're in winning positions, and he wasn't able to get us over the line. So those are valid reasons for calling for Arteta. You just don't, think we're going to go from one extreme to another. What we're going to do is praise anyone because we're Arsenal fans. So your question, despite the fact you would love to sort of say, well, you've gone from one extreme to another, that's complete nonsense. We haven't. The reasons are valid. We still haven't won anything. We're in contention, but you don't get plaudits for being in contention. Because being in contention doesn't mean you're going to win something. You have to win at the end of the season, then a discussion. And also, statues only get awarded when you're retired. So, as I said before, doing a great job, giving credit. Probably the thing is, Arteta's out of credit. We've been so near yet so far, season after season. We were nowhere in 2021. In 2022, we couldn't even qualify the Champions League because Spurs picked us when everything was in our favour, where we'd actually snatched it from defeat. And then you had the league title wins. People were still trying to convince me that Man City are unbeatable, even though we got very close in positions to beat them. They're unbeatable. So, yeah, maybe he deserves a bit of a buy of that. But the fact is, praise will be given when trophies delivered. And if you win the league, of course you deserve praise. It's the most difficult tournament we're in this season. We've got 38 games. A lot of them are London derbies. Plus we've got games against our rivals. So that takes up a big percentage. And we've got games where, let's face it, we'll struggle to get out of bed for. But we've got to mentally get out of bed for those games. So if you win the league, it's the best. It's more important than the Champions League. The Champions League is all about vanity, and it's all about wanting something that other clubs have done. I.e., well, not the Forest have won the Champions League, won at Arsenal. If Villa have done it, won at Arsenal. If Chelsea, who we think are not as big as London clubs as us, have done it, won at Arsenal. The league is where it's at. The league is the test. The league is a test cricket of football.
True, absolutely fact. Big up, Dow. Big up, Yorrigan Goon. Thanks for your super chat, my friend. Unpopular opinion, MLS ain't it, and if Arteta even wins the Prem, I want him out because we won't win it in decisive style, and I don't see us winning it over and over under Arteta. If he lifts the Prem in May, he still goes. Oh, there you go. Big up, Dow. Thank you, my friend.
Big up, Dow.
I thoroughly enjoyed the other night, Friday night, on your show with TJ as well. Good debate, that one. That was good. That was a good chat. DJB.
Yeah.
Right. Give me your breakdown on it. If we win the carrier bag and that's it, what are we doing it?
No, it's not enough for me. Carabao Cup or FA Cup. It might have been, but
might have been, yeah.
When you're putting the squad on best squad in the world, best squad in Europe, best squad since the Highbury days, managers in the top 3 in the world of all time, best manager, best coach, best this, best that, I expect more. If you're going to put someone on a pedestal and you're going to praise them that highly, then the minimum expectancy for that kind of praise is the Premiership and the Champions League. Anything below that is not acceptable. What you got to remember is, right, is if he does win the Premier League, can Arteta change the way he plays to retain it the following season? Can he change the way he plays tactically? Because most managers, to go and win trophies in their following season, they tweak things and they change things. Arteta has proven that he only plays one way. That's why certain players have come to the club and not been able to blend in with his style of play. That's why he's ruined players. That's why players have fallen off of a cliff under his management. That's why Martinelli has not improved. That's why Saka has not reached the levels, the assists and the goals. That's why Lacazette couldn't improve under him. Pepe, Aubameyang, Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Lewis Skelly has now fallen off of a cliff. Trossard has had one good season this season, but up until then he was pretty bang average. And the list goes on and on and on and on. I've not even mentioned Eze. Eze was one of the most exciting attacking midfield players in season in and season out. Mm-hmm. He's come to Arsenal. He can't even get in the team. So these are the questions you have to ask going forward. What I don't want at Arsenal Football Club is that kind of, oh, that's it, we've won the league. Brilliant. What you're going to do, it's what you do next. Once you've reached that level, can you go on even further? And what you've got to ask yourself is, can this manager change tactically to take us even further? Because if he wins the Premiership and fails to win the Champions League, I want the Champions League the following season. Because if you've got the best squad, then this squad should last for at least 2 or 3 years, shouldn't it? Players have signed 5-year deals. So realistically, this squad now should have another 3 seasons in the bag. The problem I've got with Arteta, he can't change. He can't move with... He only knows one way. You see it with his in-game management. His in-game management is still shocking. He still don't know how to change things up enough to win big matches, to win big games of football. I'll give you an example. Liverpool at the Emirates, when we should have gone 8 points clear of Man City, didn't quite know how to change it up. Liverpool was strolling through our midfield. Liverpool Anfield didn't know how to change it up.
Nope.
Right? And you've seen it time and time and time again. He's not prepared to take risks. He's not prepared to take chances. He's not prepared to move players from different positions. He's not prepared to put Saka in a false 9. He's not prepared to play Madueke on the right. He's not prepared to move Martinelli centrally. He's not prepared to play Trossard as a false 9. He's not prepared to go to a back 4. He's not prepared to play 4-4-2. He's not prepared to go 4-4-4, whatever you want to call it. Any system you want to name, Mikel Arteta will not do it. Any in-game management that needs to be applied, he's not prepared to do it. So if this is the manager you want for the next 3-5 years, then that gives him 10 years, 11 years at this football club and 1 Premiership trophy. If I said to you, you're going to sign a manager, we're going to give him 11 years, £2 billion within that tenure, and he's won 1 Premier League trophy, would you accept it at your football club? And
Nope.
Most people would turn around and say, yeah, well, as long as it's Mikel Arteta, of course I would. And that tells you everything you need to know. The manager long term has had his day. I keep saying it. I was shocked that he rolled up this season. He should have won something. People are forgetting, Jez. We had a good enough team to win silverware last season. That Carabao Cup last season should have been won by us.
Yep.
We should have been in that FA Cup final last season. Right? But he failed. So now he rocks up this season, and now he gets all the players, and now we're battling on 4 fronts this season. So we'll see. But for me, I understand him getting another. I understand him that if he wins silverware, he'll probably stay at the club. But what frightens me to have this manager at this football club, because he'll get a free 4-year deal if he wins the league. Is that the manager you want? That can't change anything tactically? Players die, players regress under him. If long term is that the manager you want, then stick with him.
The thing is, I think the thing is, it's people, just because the manager can get criticism does not mean it's hatred. I don't hate him. I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't want to meet him. I met a proper Arsenal legend on Sunday, right? Walking down Goldsmith Way. In front of me was Sol Campbell. And I just said to him, "Hi, Sol, how you doing?" And he went, he just looked at me, "All right, how are you?" And I went, "Yeah, good. We could do you back at Arsenal." He just smiled.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I'm walking down to the part where I've got to go into the North Stand, and walking over there, right? The Arsenal fans going to the Milton end, right? I can honestly say to you, I didn't see any Arsenal fans. I mean, it wasn't like major segregation. It wasn't major, right? And I didn't see any Arsenal fans going, "Oh, fuck, that's Sol Campbell there. That's Sol Campbell." Right? He's not exactly somebody you can miss. Yeah, it's a bit like walking behind Kenny Kent. You know, you're not going to miss him, are you? You know, and I'm thinking, I don't get it. But anyway, let's move it on. Kenny, I've got a question for you here, mate. I've got a question for you. Right, here we go. Icon O Class 1761 question. If Kenny gets a statue, then if Graham Gers get a statue, then Arteta stays. Choose one, please, Kenny.
Well, it's a good question, but should it be conditional that the only manager to win us a European trophy, and one of the three most iconic managers, we have to have conditions for him to have a trophy? Shouldn't that be a given? I mean, George Graham, when you think about Arsenal managers, the only 3 names that always come up when you talk about great Arsenal managers are Herbert Chapman, George Graham, and Arsene Wenger. Whatever order you want to put it in, I got my order. Obviously, you may have your own. It shouldn't be conditional. Just like it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be conditional if Mikel wins the league. Of course, Mikel's going to stay. But I'll say one thing, though, and I'll predict it, because I've seen it happen at other clubs, and Arsenal will be no different. It won't be Mikel's results that will get him out. Mikel has had a power base all to himself, where he's been the Alpha and Omega. But you and I know that when a sporting director comes along, that relationship, it will never, ever be healthy, and someone will have to go. And if Mikel puts one little toenail out of place, or doesn't win things, or his standards drops just a little bit, he'll be out the door. So it won't be up to me. But I like your question. It's a very good question. But I won't be. But my question to you: why does there have to be conditions for a third of our greatest ever managers getting a statue? That should be a given.
I totally agree.
He gave you 1989. He gave you the second best team we've ever seen, and he gave you a European night to remember in the modern era. As I said before, there shouldn't be any conditions for George Graham to get a statue. It should be there already. It should be a given.
I think it's a absolute bloody disgrace, considering the man still turns up at the Emirates, and you and all of us, we've all seen it in the chat as well. You know, he gets credence, he gets credit to get to the Emirates, but he hasn't got a fucking statue. I just don't get it. But anyway, let's move on. At the Red Zone United, hello, Jez, long time. Big up, mate. I return watching United deep defects against Brighton. Yeah, that was disgrace, mate. hard day for me. I think that was a major coup for Brighton on that one, and I'm glad we haven't got them in the FA Cup, to be honest with you, because you never know. You never know.
Jess, can I just come in about a statue? Yeah. Tony Adams has got a statue, and he still gets disrespected by half of his fan base.
Yeah, true.
So doesn't matter, does it? At the end of the day,
and so is
greatest ever
by some people in certain channels has been disrespected. Probably one of the greatest players ever at Arsenal and our highest goal scorer. And
we've got absolute legends getting disrespected by the fan base, all because they ask questions over the Football Manager.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and this is the cancer.
Makes sense.
I've said it for years, DJ. Right, one of the biggest cancers in this club, or is Arteta. Sorry, I don't respect the guy because of his narcissistic and arrogance that he does with the players and the club. I watched his interview after the game when I got home, right, on Match of the Day, and I'm thinking, what are you talking about? He just talks riddles, this guy. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I can't respect you. I don't hate him. Right? I don't think I hate anybody, really. But I just don't respect. And that's the difference, man. Nelson says, DJB, all top clubs spend big money. Arteta had a massive rebuild.
Yeah. Well, Leicester City never spent big money and they won the Premiership.
Well, he only had a rebuild because he shipped all the good players out.
Yeah, the reason why he had a rebuild, exactly. And he had £750 million spent on it last season. Going into last season, there was £750 million. So he already had more than any other Arsenal manager, and he still couldn't win nothing. That's what I'm saying. He should have won something.
And he's rebuilding his rebuild.
And he's rebuilding. And I've got news for Nelson. There'll be another rebuild because he don't like Gorkarez and he don't like Eze.
Ben White's broken.
There's 150 million pound going down the drain, and we're bringing back a player that's had a grade 3 hamstring and a knee injury. We're also bringing back another player that hasn't played all season in Jesus. We're bringing back 2 forwards that are crippled that couldn't get us over the line the previous season and the season before that, and now we're going back full circle to the squad that we had in previous years after spending £1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah. Michael.
No, he's wasted money, not rebuilt. He's wasted it.
It is wasted money because he doesn't utilise the players in the right way. We touched on this earlier on. Lewis Skelly, mate, he played him in the wrong position. That's not his natural position. And it makes him look embarrassing, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think it's disgraceful. But Michael says Arteta could win Champions League and League, sack him. Ras Di Matteo win Champions League and sack him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit happens. Look at what Real Madrid's just done. Right? He's gone. And apparently Jurgen Klopp might be the man going there. It's a rumour. Just a rumour. Anyway, let's move it on. Shano, tomorrow night we're away down the bridge. Kenny, you'll be there. DJ, you going to that one, mate?
No, I'm not going to the first leg. I'll be there at the second leg, though.
Yeah, fair play.
Hopefully, we're still in it.
Shane, give us your thoughts on it, mate. Semi-final. Personally, I think Chelsea are there to be taken. Mm-hmm. Give me your view. And I'll got Kenny, DJ. You have your say.
Yeah, I was saying earlier with this guy's record in semi-finals of one goal in the last 7 semi-final matches, with him always sort of choking on the big occasion, that worries me more than the opposition. If we were playing anybody, I'd be worried about it. I need to see him get over the line. The first leg away, Chelsea, I'm not even into this new manager bounce sort of stuff. I do know it has an effect, but that's not what's worrying me. I think the defence is going to be ragtag for the sheer reason that Calafiori's definitely out. Saliba might be out. If not, he's going to be rushed back. So we probably have Timber. In my eyes, we'll have Timber, Gabriel at centre-back and Lewis Skelly at left-back and Ben White at right-back, who just played 80 minutes. He'll drop again very, very soon. So I do worry that if we're going in with the only 4 fit defenders we have. If another one drops, and then we have the Forest game. But look, I have no sympathy for him because he has done this to himself. We should be making changes of bringing in Mosquera and Ikapié at centre-back and going, okay, well, we're still playing a lot of our second team and we still have a chance. But instead, we're going in with players that could easily drop then for the run-in. I'm pretty sure he'll go close to full strength. I know DJB thinks different. I think he'll go close to full strength. I think he knows that a Carabao Cup win would keep the 95% of gimps that have backed him regardless. It would give them a chance to keep backing him. And he only thinks of himself. He's a politician. He knows how to win the crowd over. So I'm thinking he'll go pretty much full strength. But what way do I think the game will go? I think if we draw, we should be able to take them at home. I think if they win by, say, 1, then I'm not so sure. But I think he'll go there to get a 0-0 and try and nick a set piece. He'll play like he did against Liverpool. It'll be lock up, try and get a set piece, little spurts of pressure here and there. And Chelsea are quite injury prone themselves. I think there's Reece James might be 50-50. I think the same with Gusto. Caicedo suspended, which means that they'll have to put probably Reece James in midfield and then they'll be loose at right back. So I don't know. My big worry is if Lewis Skelly starts and they start Neto out the right, which I think they will, and they just get the ball to him and just keep running at him, there could be trouble there. So for me, I think I'd call a draw now if I had to. I'd call a draw. Probably 0-0 or 1-0. It won't be a high scoring game anyway.
Fair enough. Before I come to Kenny, Iconclass says, because George Graham damaged his own legacy, shouldn't managers be held to, I think you mean held to high standards also? Well, that's a good point. But Tony Adams got sent to prison for drink driving.
Yeah.
So what's worse? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, the fact the manager was found guilty of naughty dealings on transfers and that shit. You telling me that Terry Venables also didn't deal that?
They were all at it, man. They were all at it.
Come on. all of them are fucking doing it. They're all dipping their fingers in the pie. Yeah. So
nothing's changed. They're still doing it. The fact is that, you know, you can still praise George Graham and still, I mean, respected of his legacy and still have a huge respect for Mikel. You know, anyone who contributes to our football club should be held in the highest esteem. Let's not forget there's a guy called Platt Jennings who played for us for 8 years and was never a fan of us. He always had a deep affection for Spurs.
Of course.
Right as we speak, there's a lounge named after him. As we speak, he is one of their match day hosts. That's a fact. You know, he's always wearing the uniform. I've never seen him given any job of any sort of capacity, any sort of reverence at Arsenal. We respect him, but he's a Tottenham man. You know, let's face it. He gave it everything for us against Tottenham.
Yeah,
Graham was sacked for something. Was basically because Arsenal basically wanted to save their bacon and were caught with their pants around their ankles, and they wanted to be seen to do something in order to protect themselves. So that's why they sacked him. And he went to Spurs. He didn't leave Arsenal to go to Tottenham, like Pat Jennings left Tottenham a couple of Arsenal, so Campbell left Spurs a couple of Arsenal. He went there from Leeds United. Let's get it right. So the fact is, a lot of you guys on the panel, sort of the panel and in the chat, a lot of you guys resonated and had affiliation to Ian Wright. He spoke your language. Who brought Ian Wright to the football club? George Graham. A lot of you guys talk about 89, 89. One girl lives off it. We even know what she had for dinner on that day. Who was responsible for that? That event, George Graham. 1987 Littlewoods Cup final, where we beat a Liverpool team where Ian Rush scored and we still won. George Graham did that. All the iconic moments before Arsene Wenger in the modern era could be attributed towards George Graham. Yet, we're still having a debate whether we should have a statue. We're still talking about, oh, he did this and that. Yeah. Do you think Arsene Wenger was clean? Do you think David Dean was clean? Do you think Tony Adams was an angel? Oh,
No.
Tony Adams got caught, but he didn't get caught for the things he did. He did much worse than that, and he never got caught. That's a fact.
True. Yeah.
But
true.
you guys still lionize him and still tip your hat off to him as though he's royalty. So come on, man. It's not a debate. It's not up for debate regarding George Graham's contribution to a great, great, great club. He is the man that's laid foundation for Wenger, and he is actually the man that a lot of you guys compare Arteta to favourably.
Yep.
Fact.
Yep.
I agree with you, mate. Big up, mate. Thanks for your super chat, SGNG5 up. The fan base would rather fight for Ian Wright to get a statue than George Graham. Kenny, you just summed that one up. Why should Wrighty get a statue? He wasn't integral of winning the league in '98. He was injured and a bench player. Yeah. Big up for you. Thank you for your super chat, mate. True.
It's not a dig against Ian Wright. It's just facts. Unfortunately, facts have this inconvenient way of getting away with a good story. Ian Wright getting a statue is a thing of fairy tales. It's like a Dakinori or something like Orphan Annie. It's not realistic, him getting a statue before George Graham. He did. There's a reason why Thierry Henry got a statue, Dennis Bergkamp got a statue, and Tony Adams got a statue. You know the reason? You know the real reason? Because they're actual legends of the club. And they are best ever players. And they're actually revered by the club. They don't have to force it or beg for it. It's there. That's why they got a statue, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
True. Kenny, you're going to the game tomorrow night. Give me your breakdown and give me what your prediction is, and then I'll come to DJB, and then I'm going to ask you the FA Cup question of the year.
Right, first and foremost, without a shadow of doubt, it's too close to call, in my opinion. You know, you can talk about, you know, Chelsea are there for the taking. Well, they can say we're there for the taking. You know, they were smarting from the fact that somehow they didn't beat us at Stamford Bridge. Even with 10 men, we were holding on. And they will think, right, we were down to 10 men without Casado, and we didn't have Cole Palmer, yet we outplayed Arsenal. They'll be mightily confident of beating us. And then they're going to look at it's going to be a scratch side. So I would say, without a shadow of that, it's too close to call. There's a lot of things we got to do that we didn't do against Liverpool to actually win home and away against Chelsea, especially at their ground. You know, our midfield has to be spot on. Even without Casado, they're going to take the game for us, and they're going to want to bully us in midfield. And then our fullbacks have to be at their best, because Garnacho and Neto are not going to stop. They're going to be relentless. And then obviously up top, you could either, what will happen, you have Pedro that will start, and then Delap will finish the game. Pedro would probe, and Delap will try and beat up our defenders. So it's not going to be easy. And if any chance we get, it's got to be clinical. We're going to have to play a strong midfield, without a shadow of doubt. We're going to have to play Gabriel, because at set pieces, Chelsea are strong in both areas, especially in attacking their attacking areas. We can only have a look at the goal they scored at the Bridge. So those are the areas where I think that we have to be really good, and whoever we play up top is going to have a battle. So as much as we would like to probably play Jesus, we're going to have to play Gyökeres, because he's our only fully fit striker, and the best of British luck to him, because he's going to need it. But yeah,
good point.
I assume Mendy will play. Eze will play, and I think that Eze will play, and I think Declan will play as well. Because I think because of the physical side of things, he's going to want Declan. Anyway, Declan didn't come on against. Declan came on in the last few furlongs at Fratton Park. He'll start tomorrow. I can guarantee that.
Oh, Rice will start. I think Odegaard will start though over Eze.
Oh, yeah, probably. It's Chelsea, but Kepa Arrizabalaga would definitely start in goal without a shadow of doubt.
That's a worry.
Arrizabalaga. Ben White will play at right back. It's 50-50 who will play at left back. It's probably going to be Miles Lewis-Skelly again. He'll probably give him another chance. And he'll definitely play Saliba and another. It could be Norgard, but it could be Timber. And then you've got to look at the sort of left wing. I personally would play Madueke, give Saka another rest, but he'll probably play Saka. I can guarantee you that Martinelli would definitely play start over Trossard in all because Trossard's the league and Champions League man, and Martinelli
and he's injured as well, I think.
Yeah. So Martinelli will play, and it would be a case of getting an early goal and just shutting up shop. But I do think that Chelsea will be completely up for it. They're relentless. I think it's going to be a humdinger of a derby, but I think it'll be a draw, and I think it'll probably be a draw. About 3 weeks' time as well, which means penalties.
Oh, yeah, we love all that, don't we? DJ, give me your breakdown and match prediction for this one.
Well, I just think it's all about this team selection, really. One thing that we've been very, very good at this season, we've not been getting overloaded in areas, especially our fullback positions. Calafiori and Timber's taken care of that this season. Now, the fact that we could have Ben White playing at right back and Timber playing at left back, or Skelly playing at left back, I think our two fullbacks are going to get exposed tomorrow. And that could be a problem. So if he goes strong in midfield, then I think we can come out with a draw. If he doesn't go strong, I think we'll get overloaded, and it could turn out a bit of a messy night tomorrow, to be honest, because we're not doing enough in the final third in open play. We're not doing enough. We don't look like scoring too many goals. We watched us against Liverpool. It was a struggle. So if we do get chances, we're going to have to bury out. I think it'll go one. I think it'll be 1-1. But I'm with Kenny. I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea nick it 2-1. If Chelsea go 2 goals clear, we're out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna beat around the bush, people. I'm not here to scaremonger and make you feel horrible. But if Chelsea go 2 goals clear, 3-1 or 2-0, we're out.
I don't think they will, though.
We ain't scoring 3 goals at the Emirates. I don't think they will. However, as I said to you earlier in Jez, our defence has been our major weapon this season, and it's dented at the moment, and especially in the fullback areas. That could be a problem tomorrow evening. But I think it'll go 1-1. I said 1-1. I don't think it'll be open. I don't think there'll be a lot of attacking football. I think both teams will cancel one another out. But they'll be up for it, Chelsea. This is a big opportunity for them. If they can get the Carabao Cup this season, finish in the Champions League, they'll be happy with that.
Also on that, DJ, if they do win the Carabao Cup, they're 1 trophy behind us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All time. From being the third biggest team in
England. All time. Yeah. And then they know that as well. They know that tide will turn if they get 1 trophy behind us. But for someone like Chelsea, Carabao Cup, good run in the FA Cup, finishing 4th. And again, we've brought the pressure on ourselves because, we're talking about going for the quadruple and this team's this and this team's that. It'd be a major scalp for Chelsea if they get 1 over on us.
True. That is very true. The Gold Gaffer, good comment. Can this Arteta brother just reach a bloody final? Can he at least do that? That's a very good point. Very, very good point. We haven't seen that since 2019. God knows when that Yeah, fuck me, it's forever ago.
Jez, we had the same feeling. You got to remember, we had all this same feeling when we went into the Champions League semi-final against PSG. We beat them earlier on in the tournament. Yeah. We had exactly this same amount of confidence going into that, and we all knew what happened in that game. So
even the Newcastle semi-final, DJB, we just beaten the City 5-1, and we were the best team in the world. And then we went and got dog walked, didn't get a shot on target because he bottled it.
We've been here before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Let's, we'll see.
Score a sodding goal. Even Binks, I think the draw too. Arteta will play for the draw. Yeah. Big up, Budgie, man. Big up. Hope you're well.
Big up, Budgie.
I've spoken to you for a long time. Even Panel Jez just popped in to drop a like. Get the rest of the thumbless buggers on it too. Yeah, big up, mate. Big up. Smash the likes, people. Right, Shane, before we go, question I asked before the show. What is your most memorable or best, if you want to put it that way, FA Cup game?
I'll give you two if that's okay, Jez, because they both have meaning to me, and I'll be quick.
Yes.
The 93 FA Cup final, Andy Linnigan. The replay, Ian Wright got the first goal. Chris Waddle scored for Wednesday. It's massive to me because I've told you before, my older brother by 4 years is a Sheffield Wednesday fan. So throughout those finals and replays, I my arms were black and blue every time Arsenal scored. I was getting punched up, but I didn't care when Linnigan scored. I ran around the house and I was getting chased around and getting a kicking, but in a good way. Big brother sort of kicking, but it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. I'll tell you, he could have done anything. It didn't hurt. I was too ecstatic. And then the whole final is big to me because we hadn't won it in ages. It was my stag weekend, and we were out watching it. So it was I was away from my stag, and we went 2-0 down to Hull. And I remember everybody that was with me, because they know what I'm like when Arsenal lose. I could hear them saying, "Oh, we may as well write the night off if Arsenal lose this, because he'll be no use to us. He's just going to sulk all night, or he'll be in a bad mood." And then we came back and won. It wasn't. We should never have been in that position to go 2-0 down to Hull, but we did. We did it the Arsenal way. So for those two, for me, the 93 one, which is why I get so infuriated when the likes of Igal try to piss all over 92, 93 and say, "Oh, you finished 10th. How dare you try and take away those memories from me? One of my favourite ever Arsenal memories, doing a double in the Cups. Who do you think you are?" So for me, it's the 93 final, Andy Linnigan. Chris Wood should have saved it, but I don't care. And the whole game. They're there for me.
Fair play, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Kenny Ken, for you, your most memorable FA Cup game. Could be anyone, any team, anyone.
The most memorable game for me has to be the FA Cup replay. It was actually the third replay at Highfield Road. You know, we had a litany of draws. You know, first draw we drew Liverpool at Hillsborough 0-0. Then at Villa Park it was 1-1. Then at Villa Park on a Monday, the Monday afterwards it was 1-1 again. And then the fourth attempt, it was actually a terrible game. There wasn't that many fans because obviously Villa Park was away. We went Highfield Road and Byron Talbot scored in the 14th minute, and we just held on. We held on, and that's my greatest moment because we beat what at the time I thought was one of the best team in Europe, Liverpool. And I think it was an iconic time. And you thought we were going to win the FA, gone on to win the FA Cup. We didn't. We had too many. We had a small squad and we had too many games, and just fatigue just got the better of us. But yeah, that game is definitely up there for me. For me, it's levels above anything else. And remember, I've seen some great finals at Cardiff, some great finals at Wembley. I've seen some great FA Cup memories, but for me, that was the time for me. It's when I fell in love with the football club, because at the end of the day, you get told to support Arsenal and you say, yeah, you do it. But when you see something like that, that's when there's always a game where you actually fall in love with the club, because you get told who to support, you choose your own way, but you don't actually fall in love with the club. But it's certain things maybe it's a game or a player makes you fall in love with the club, and that's when I fell in love with Arsenal. Yes, that game. Brian Talbot winner, 40th minute at Highfield Road, got to the FA Cup final at the expense of mighty Liverpool. Yeah, that's the game for me.
Fair play. DJB?
Well, I mean, a lot of the Arsenal finals, I mean, the great, one of the one that sticks in my mind, it was the 3-2 Man United against Man United when we were cruising 2-0 up, Stapleton and everyone, and then we looked like we'd thrown it away. And then that amazing run by Liam Brady, perfect ball out of Graham Ricks, the cross, and Alan Sunderland at the far post. That one sticks in my mind. But I'm going to go away from Arsenal. One of the FA Cups that I enjoyed was the 1990 semi-final, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, 4-3 Palace.
Oh, yeah.
What's the game?
Humdinger. Mark
The final
Bright
was a cracker as well. The first one.
Ian Rush opened the scoring brilliant Liverpool team. Palace had no right to go anywhere near them. Ray Houghton was in the team, Ian Rush, John Barnes, McMahon, all them players. But that was a brilliant FA Cup semi-final. I remember it well. And Alan Pardew got the winner, 4-3. I think it was in the injury time.
Palace in the yellow and blue.
I wonder what he did with his life.
Eh?
I wonder what he did with his life. I wonder what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Steve McMahon scored for Liverpool as well. And Mark Bright. Remember Mark Bright? It was Bright and Wright, wasn't it? Yeah, but
he was involved in my one in the final, the '93 final for Wednesday. As well.
Yeah, that was a brilliant, because I remember watching it and I really wanted Palace to win that game. And you got to remember, it was the 1990. It was after the '89 when we'd had that famous victory, and Liverpool were desperate. They were desperate to go to Wembley in that FA Cup final, and that's the one that's. I mean, obviously the Arsenal ones stick in my mind. The whole the Sheffield Wednesday one, as Shane said, but yeah, for something different, the Palace and the Liverpool semi-final 1990 was a classic. And another one that sticks in my mind was the mazy run by Ryan Giggs when he slapped.
I was just about to say that, DJ. I was just about to say that. As much as it hurts for the neutral,
much as it hurts, all I remember doing was screaming, "Take him out, bring him down." If ever you take a yellow card for the team,
one for the team. Yeah,
that was the tackle. And they just
you know what that reminded me of, that goal. It reminded me, because if you think about it, Ryan Giggs, when he first came into our stratosphere, he was that kind of player.
Yeah.
But then as he got older, he matured into a player where he could play in midfield, he could play up top, he could play anywhere. And it was just a little reminder of what the Ryan Giggs that we saw when he first got in the Man United team. You know, the left winger just going boom, 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 and using his pace and balance. And it just reminds you, because there's a lot of people who are not fit to lace his boots, like who basically said that Ryan Giggs wasn't a great player, that he had a great career. And I just think it's just shocking.
Ridiculous.
One of the guys is called Curtis Woodhouse, who's a boxer, and he had a very average career as a footballer. And he's got the nerve to actually say the same about
that becomes popular, Kenny, to say a silly thing like that. You know what I mean? Giggs was a phenomenal player, absolutely phenomenal.
And that's right. But DJ, I think one thing you left out is that both semi-finals were actually on a Sunday, and they all one after the other, and we had a 3-3 at Main Road. Yeah. But Oldham versus Man United. So we had. So we had actually 13 goals in the FA Cup final. Both of them went to extra time.
Yeah. And the final then was 3-3 as well, wasn't it? The first one?
Yes.
Ian Wright coming off the bench to score 2. After a leg break, came on and scored 2.
Yeah.
Palace were lucky because they went 3-2 up in that as well. They went 3-2 up in that. The replay, Clayton Blackmore got the only goal of the replay, I think, didn't he? Clayton Blackmore with a drill from inside the box.
Yeah.
For me, I ain't even got to think about this one. It was my first ever FA Cup final at Wembley, and it's, of course, the 2-1 against Liverpool. The reason I say it wasn't the greatest of games, but it was my first FA Cup final.
Yeah.
As a little kid, I was 11 years old. First time to an FA Cup with my granddad. So that will always stick in my mind. And
Brilliant.
Wonderful memory.
It was that. So that's it for me. I know it's biased because it's Arsenal. I did also think about the game that was United against Brighton. That was a good game. Unfortunately, the replay didn't go Brighton's way. But yeah.
Hey, can I ask you a question though? Do you think that Smith still thinks about that chance he missed in the last minute to make it? To make it 3-2 in the last kick of the game?
I bet. Nightmare.
Yeah. What about the Spurs and Coventry game?
Oh, we love that. We love that. But can you imagine it, right? If you're Gordon Smith and it's the 121st minute, 20th minute in injury time of extra time, last kick of the game, you got the chance to win Brighton the FA Cup. Yeah, they've already been relegated.
Mm-hmm.
And you're about 10 yards out. And all you've got to do is just pick your spot and you miss.
I know.
I wouldn't sleep at night. That'll give me nightmares for the rest of my life.
I bet he's starting now. I bet he does. Let's be honest.
Gordon Smith, I feel you. I feel for you, Gordon Smith.
It'd stick with you forever. It would stick with you forever.
Yeah, that was a great. That was a good final. Spurs and Coventry.
Was that Coventry with the kit, DJ? The one that the Lloyd? Yeah.
Classic kit.
Come
on, man.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up.
Thank
you, mate, for joining as always. Tomorrow, 10:30 is the Irish breakfast, of course. What else you got coming up, my friend?
So it'll be obviously the full Irish tomorrow. Big up to everybody that was in this morning. It was mad numbers this morning. It always humbles me. It makes me want to keep doing it. And then clean through one-on-one with views, always at 5 o'clock, and then a match reaction. And then bits and pieces, obviously the Bruce Banana Thursday night and off topic at some point during the weekend, depending on the Arsenal game. So in and around, plenty of streams. And big up for having me on. I really enjoyed this one. I love looking back on the FA Cup. It's gotten destroyed by the semi-finals being at Wembley and it's Sky not bigging it up because they don't have the rights to it and stuff like that. I think it's just completely off sort of topic on that, but Sky used to I don't know if people remember this, but before they had the Champions League, I know they lost it, but before they ever had it, they never used to mention it. They never used to mention Champions League. They'd always say, to finish third or to finish. They'd never even use the words Champions League. They do it now. But originally, before they had it, they'd never mention the word Champions League. They just say third place or second place. But they've done it to the FA Cup as well. But look, big up for having me on. Amazing. Always good to chat with the lads and big up to the legendary chat as well.
Yeah, big up, mate. You're always welcome. Kenny Ken.
Second that, Shane. Yeah, because they got the Europa League in about a couple of years. You watch them big that up.
Oh, yeah, it'd be massive now. Yeah, of course it will.
Yeah, well, that's the way it works in big situations like that, my friend. Kenny, mate, you're at the game tomorrow night. You'll be doing your pre-match podcast.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to the game. I see where DJB gets it. But I think what's happening, I just love it. I know a lot of Chelsea fans. We've made friends over the last few years. So I suppose it's like, they make me feel at home. So of course I'm gonna reek and like I said, revel in the hospitality that comes my way every time I go to the bridge.
Enjoy, Kenny. Enjoy.
I need to win.
Let's hope you're a happy man on the way home, my friend.
Kenny, if you ever do get the chance to go to Pompey, if you like your spicy food. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a place called Zanny. It's just down from Fratton Station.
Yes.
It used to be a Burger King. It's a big old place, and we had the most amazing grub in there, and not ridiculously expensive either. Be fair.
I don't need a second invitation. You got me at spicy, mate.
Yeah, it's called Zanny.
I'm there.
Right. And you get it basically straight out of Fratton Station, walking towards Pompey's Ground, Goldsmith Road, Goldsmith Way. It's on the left-hand side, and it's a big old joint. And I'll tell you what, the food in there is unbelievably good. And they do. I didn't have it myself. I just had chili chips with salt and pepper. And I'll tell you what, for £4.95, £5.95, you got the biggest bowl of chips you'll ever have in your life. Swear down. And I couldn't eat them all. But anyway, there we go. That's a little tip for you if you ever get down that way, gentlemen. DJB, my friend, what you got coming up?
Yeah, all good. I've got I'm on with Dan tonight for the first time in about 6-7 weeks. I ain't been on there for ages, so gonna make a little guest appearance tonight, little cameo tonight. See what's going on there, and then what we got the midweek mingle with Normski after the game tomorrow, a little bit later than advertised because we're gonna get through the game first, Arsenal Chelsea. And there'll be stuff coming up. Sunday sit back, doing a little chat with Kenny on Thursday, and it's all good. It's all good. So just hope we can get a result tomorrow night. That'd be good. That'd be even better.
Yeah, that's
we'll see.
Funny enough,
if not, it's going to be a long week. It's going to be a long week if we don't win tomorrow.
We've
got Forest on Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
tough.
Arguably that's just as big as Chelsea.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough. I have a bad feeling about that Forest game.
I think we'll do Forest. They're shit right now. But funny DJ Dan contacted me last night, and he wants me on next week.
Yeah,
I said, yeah, cool. And he said, but I won't invite Stricto. And I said, no, don't. No, I ain't got a problem.
No.
I ain't got a problem.
See, we don't have the problem. It's not us that gets personal. It's not us that gets disrespected. We just get hammered as soon as we mention Arteta. They don't really listen to what you have to say, and then as soon as you mention the word Arteta, their ears prick up, and then they start hearing things.
Yeah, but
they've forgotten the build up to what you have to say. They don't listen to until they hear the word Arteta, and then it's. I'll just see how it goes tonight. I'm not going to.
We've got a lot to look forward to. Remember, you've got your own handles as well to enjoy. Plus, you've got some big games that are bigger than anything. They're bigger than any podcast.
We just go with it. But
you know, the thing is, right, with a lot of people, we're basically on podcasts with people who predominantly are on AFTV. So
exactly.
So again, there's always going to be. It's always a case where the chemistry. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it don't work between us.
No, exactly.
Because we're very much anti-AFTV, and they're very much with the AFTV family.
But that's the thing, though, Kenny. That's what I've been saying. I think once you go on something like that, once someone has told you or hinted that there's certain things that you can't say, for me, your opinion as a fan goes out the window. Then, as soon as you get told there's something you can't say, or you have to agree with something, it's gone for me. The credibility's gone. That's just my opinion.
I just don't like it when I don't like it when they're trying to score points because your opinion about the manager is different to theirs.
Yeah,
I don't try and score points just because they all think Arteta's this and Arteta's that. They can support the club any way they want, and they can say what they like. Yeah, but providing you don't criticise my opinions, and this is what they do. They try and belittle you just because your opinion is different to theirs. That's what.
But there's always a goal. There's always a goal. There's always a watch along to be invited on. There's always like a possible podcast to be invited to be given later down the line. And I've been on that channel, and I know what they want to work on it and what doesn't work. So it was always going to be like it was always going to be a situation where it was going to be the chemistry between us was never going to be great because I know these guys inside out. I know the guy who runs it inside out. I know how he likes to debate, and I know what he likes to encourage. But because they're on the biggest podcast or platform out there, they bring out eyes to the channel, so it's understandable why they're on.
Yeah. Are you on it tonight, Kenny?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Not swinging in your wind then.
I watched
Kenny's one of the AFTV ones they have to bring on, man. You know what I mean?
I'm so loved by the guy who runs it. He loves me like a brother. Not.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Oh, well. Okay, we're going to wrap it up, gentlemen.
Yeah, big up, Jez. Thanks for having me on, by the way. And it's always a pleasure to be on here. I love it. And big up the chat as well. Big up, bless to everyone.
Take care, everyone. And
take care, everyone.
And
later.
Shane, Kenny, DJB, chat. You've been amazing tonight. Great comments. Thanks for the super chats. And we're out of it. Have a good evening.